when I was a really young kid, I got into a fight after school in the schoolyard, and my mom was coming to pick me up.
Yeah.
And apparently, it wasn't looking like I was going to win this fight, right?
Surprisingly.
Well, I'm not really in, this is not my thing. But like, so it didn't look like I was going to win this fight, and I don't know if she let the fight happen or she let me if she let the fight happen. But all I know is when we left the schoolyard, she took me directly to a karate school and like enrolled me. Like we left that, we went straight there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Or did you think it was cool, or did you think it was like too much?
Well, see, the thing is like that's what I was like gonna ask about it, because remember when I was talking to you about like this, like maybe this indoctrination when you like put the kids in a situation where they don't even have a chance to like think about whether it's right or wrong, or if they're so young they don't know if it's like something that they not right or wrong, but like if it's something that they want to do. Did I say right or wrong?
Right.
But like it's almost like if you grow up in a situation where you've been doing something for such a a long time or at such a young age, it's you don't know that it's if it's something that you like or not, and especially when it's something that could probably benefit you in the future. You know what I mean?
Like
So
solving solving issues yourself
well,
without
not
having.
not necessarily just like solving issues, but like maybe if she waited until I got a little bit older and asked me if I wanted
Oh,
to
the school thing, the karate school.
yeah, if she,
Yeah, she was probably just like worried because
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah, she wanted to like set you up with the best skills in
yeah,
order to uh, for you to be able to protect yourself when she wasn't around, right?
yes,
That makes sense. But
yes,
on
and
the other,
so the
yeah.
question is like I obviously did not have a choice in this matter. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And I personally, just because I came up that way and I see the benefit of it, I feel like this is probably the way that I would kind of handle it.
Also depends on your kid's character because our parents, like, not with that, not it wasn't about self protection, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
they would like want us to, I don't know, go to music school, go to ballet school, all that,
Mm-hmm.
and like wasn't much of a success. Like
Right.
with me, not at all, and then the others, they did what they had to do, kind of, but could have turned out the same way with you if you were different from what you are, right? She
Mm-hmm.
could have sent you to that school and you wouldn't have learned anything because you just didn't feel like going there, right?
Right. 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 Well,
So,
so you don't think it's possible to like get someone at such an early age that they just know it as a way of life?
well, it depends on the kid, right? Or I don't know on what it depends, but I know that a lot of people try to make their kids do whatever they want them to do and they
Mm-hmm.
won't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, but I do think that like the music thing is a little bit different because like with my mom, we talk about this all the time about like anytime she saw me express any kind of interest in anything, right? If
Right.
I'm watching TV and she comes in the room and there's like a tennis match going on, she's trying to see if I'm into it, and then she comes home the next day with a tennis racket and some balls. You know what I mean? Like, or um, like she saw me draw and I was like in art school, like
Okay, and do you think from your now point of view, do you think that spoiled you or was that a good thing?
spoiled me.
Yeah.
What would spoil me? I don't.
Yeah, like if you show interest in anything and you just get it right away,
But it's
that
not.
can
It's not
also spoil
necessarily
you
like
for
a
life
giving.
because that the message is you just show interest and bam, there you go, set up with all the
Well, I don't know if that. I don't know if this was like. I
like
don't know if I
you
would
didn't have
categorize it that way. Only in a
no.
sense, like it would be different if she was like just buying me things. I'm not like, yes, of course she bought the tennis racket, but it wasn't necessarily just to give me a tennis racket. It was more like supporting an interest. You know what I mean? So because we talked about this earlier about I think one of the things she was trying to prepare me for or to circumvent was the fact that when kids get bored, they get into trouble, right?
Right. Totally agree on that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Yeah. I guess that my parents did the same thing because they could afford it.
Mhm.
And then it just, I guess it gave us the impression that you could just like get everything you wanted
Mhm.
right away and not worship
Mhm.
shit and
Yeah.
not pull through stuff. You would get bored of ballet classes and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go to soccer classes, whatever. And
Mhm.
like they always, like my mom always told us that once we started something, we had to pull through for at
Mhm.
least 2 years or something.
Mhm.
But then, of course, that I don't know. Maybe I'm a too strong character or whatever. But or I don't know. But like in my case, I would just like not go there
Mhm.
or just not participate or
Mhm.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't necessarily like that for me cuz actually my mom started taking classes like when with the karate school, she actually started taking the classes with me.
Oh,
Well, not with me,
wow.
but she was like in the school. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously there was like the kids' classes, and then but she was there. She was definitely like present. You know what I mean? And so, um, but at the same time, when it came to like buying stuff, like for instance, when I think she did buy me my first like little drum machine, like Sensonic drums. But when I wanted to move to something like bigger, and I wanted this drum machine, it was like $700 or whatever at the time. She she didn't buy it for me. She just she let me get a job and work until I had the $700. Now I don't even remember what job I had or whatever, but like maybe she was like, I think I'm trying to remember. I think maybe I was working with my stepfather, and maybe they kind of overpaid me a little bit.
Sure.
You
That's
know
cool
what I
though.
mean?
Yeah.
But when I got to the $700, and they took me to the store to buy the drum machine. I pick it out and I pull out the money. And my mom was like, oh, "I'll put that money away, right?" And then she bought it for me, and on top of it, she like bought me this 4 track that was like another $700, and I had my $700. You know what
Wow.
I mean? So,
This is what I call spoiled.
yeah, well, but the thing is
It's
like,
nice though. I see the gesture.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I see that. I
so,
get
but
it.
I mean, like it
It's
maybe.
probably different the way you grew up though. Like if I would raise my kid in that environment, I'd probably be very different from what I am here now, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I'd be way more protective if she was like if I couldn't let her out on the street, I wouldn't let her out on the street,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like now she's little, but then I talked about that to my sister the other day because she has the two girls that are 12 and 14 now. So
Hmm.
she already raised kids in that in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked to her because we grew up in like in Munich, super safe, and then we could just like spend all day
Mm-hmm.
outside,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And come back for dinner, whatever. It was like safe.
Right.
And go to school alone, go to kindergarten alone,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right?
I mean, I still did
I,
all of this stuff. It just was
yeah, I wouldn't let my kid like, even though kindergarten is right on the other side of the park, I wouldn't let her go there by herself. I would be worried as fuck,
right, right, right.
right? So now she's little and she's with me anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But then when school starts or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
this is going to get interesting because
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably, even though I got all that freedom when I grew up, I'm probably going to be one of these overprotective moms that drives her kids to school till they're 15 or something.
Yeah. And then
You
they're
know?
gonna be like, "Oh, can you drop me off down the block so I
Right. And I'm
can
like, no, no. I watch you go inside.